welcome to a brand new episode of From the Pod. And yes, today a special episode because one, I have more than Mercedes and McLaren joining the show today. Number one. Number two, I am doing this podcast from a hospital bed. So Mihir might think I'm pulling in all the attention, but if you think it, I don't care. But yeah, today on the deck, we have got McLaren as usual, Vishruti. I've got then Mihir, those two lads from the UK, and then the Ferrari dude. It's not Jason. Uh, I've got Nathan joining me over here. So welcome, guys.
Yeah, great to be back. I just keep hearing about this Jason guy. When's he coming up? When can I meet him?
When
I
can
need to, talk to this guy.
surprisingly?
I think, I think he's depressed. As Ferrari's performances go, I feel like he needs like a brother to talk to.
I
I
don't
need to
think he
talk to
needs a
him.
brother. I think he needs to maybe drive well during formation laps, or maybe just drive
Ah,
well in
Oh, painful.
right.
just drive properly, just without any hydraulic issues. But that's okay. No worries.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a disappointing weekend for the House of Mercedes because our cars were just not too good enough. At the start, when I saw the overtakes, I was like, "Oh damn, this is happening." I was pretty much aiming like a good P2 or a P3 finish, considering the last two races. But then look what these guys brought in. That's like how I'll call it's an absolute piece of filth. Like, sorry for my words. Like, okay,
Okay.
I want like initial thoughts from Mihir though. Your reactions to the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Ferrari or Mercedes?
Mercedes.
Oh, I have no words. Like you've got me to such a wrong place because I was so happy in the beginning, and then I just see George Russell having a power unit issue, and I was just devastated. It was no, like I can't really explain the amount of like sadness and hurt I went through
Mhm.
because just saw George like I don't know. I was honestly I'm not expecting much from Mercedes this season because obviously it's the end of the season now, which is really sad. But I think teams like Mercedes, Williams, and other teams should really focus on the next season because this season is dominated by obviously Red Bull, and I think Ferrari does know what they're doing. I think they do like no joke on Ferrari, but all seriousness, I think Ferrari know what they have to do. It's just the fact that they're just having really bad luck. And Brazil is not just all about fast turns; it's also about fast corners and dominance during the turns. That's what I feel. Nathan, what do you think?
Look, I mean, in terms of Ferrari, I guess it's just pretty much the same old story, right? We have heard it all season, especially when it comes to Charles. It's just bad luck, misfortune, just miscommunication from the team side, and overall just a mess. Really, I mean, this it's like it's kind of like a season to forget because you must remember last year we were kind of in the first part of the season we were challenging Max, we were challenging the Red Bulls. So initially at the start of this season, we were thinking, okay, maybe we could be challenging the Red Bulls at least, or be consistent with podiums. But well, that's not the case, and we just pretty much fell off. Aston Martin came up, and now look at McLaren. Look at how they have started to boom with podiums, and Lando. Look at him. So I mean, Ferrari have just they really need to go back to the drawing board. They have to work really hard next season. I don't really expect them be there on top challenging Red Bull for wins, but at least like podiums, it should be coming at least. Yeah.
The sadness in Nathan's voice is so satisfying to me for some reason. It's the most. I know we are failing, but I'm still gonna support them because I really hate my life. Like that's what Nathan is giving up on Ferrari, but he still loves. It's like a father that
Switch
loves
over,
his
man.
son.
Switch
He
over.
knows his son's a loser. Like that's how things are going on. Right now.
Hey, you know what makes me more happier is what Toto said after the race.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I
man,
absolutely agree with you. I wanted to kill myself.
honestly, I mean, I watched F1 in like when I started watching it back. I started watching it from 2017 and 2018. So that
Uh-huh.
was when Seb was, fighting the Mercedes, and at least he tried to fight. But man, they were so dominant back then. Really, when I was watching them, I just really couldn't stand the Mercedes. I'll be honest, and Toto especially. But I mean, I have respect for them. They're a really good team. But when I see them now, getting a taste of their own medicine, I mean, it pains me because I
You,
mean, I know my team
you
Ferrari are like,
strike of your face, Nathan. Look at him, the evil smile he's having on his face. Absolute
yeah,
doggy.
but we have a common enemy here. We have Red Bull. Those guys are.
I don't think Red Bulls are enemy now. I think what Red Bull is not an enemy anymore. It's each other. Anything below P2. What do you think, Wish? What do you think?
Red Bull for me just exists. You know, they're there, they're at the top. We can't change it. For me, it starts from P2 and it goes down. They're dominant. Like I think I saw a post that Arjun had sent me. They are what 300, 400 points ahead of Mercedes?
400
Yeah,
points, yeah.
400 points.
Exactly. They're 400 points ahead of Mercedes. I can't even begin to imagine what went into it. I mean, Perez slacked in between and they're still 400 points ahead. That just shows how dominant the car is. Honestly, we have to give it to Red Bull. Amazing drivers, extremely dominant car, wonderful team, and the support is phenomenal.
I actually disagree with you on that.
How?
I
I
actually
am a
don't.
McLaren fan. I detest Red Bull, and I still say this.
I know, but the fact that you said that both the drivers are really good, I don't think Checo is a really good driver.
I have mixed emotions about Checo. Yes, I do want Daniel Ricciardo to get back his spot in the Red Bull
But don't you think?
badly, but Checo is a good driver.
But
He
you really need
fought
to.
last
You
year,
really
didn't
need
he?
to. No, no. Okay, I agree with you, but someone really needs to challenge Max during these races, and I think the
You,
best competitor for Max was Daniel Ricciardo.
you know who I think? See, it doesn't have to be a teammate. In my head, watching last week's race, I feel like it's Lando.
Okay, first of all, you have McLaren. You think McLaren's gonna come like in
You see the
podiums?
gap.
Okay, I agree, but you also need to understand that next season is going to be a lot more changes.
I feel like McLaren's gonna have a good car next season. I
How do
don't
you
know.
know that? Are you the one
I
engineering?
don't know. I have a
I'm
feeling they
just going
have
to
good drivers.
I'm just going to interject over here. It's not going to be just McLaren. A lot of people are coming on the field because it's not just going to be McLaren. Even if you guys have seen over the past two races alone, AlphaTauri, the
Yeah.
worst car of the year, the most draggiest car of the year, ends up scoring double digit points on a single race weekend is really, really, really a big thing. A P6 finish for you to.
Williams has been doing wonderful on straights. I
But
mean,
then
on
again,
straights, but Williams has been doing good
Williams
too.
would need a track, say, for example, like how it's going to be with
Vegas.
Wade, like those long tracks with long straights. That's basically Williams's forte.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so it's
Yeah,
basically
and
Red Bull, Williams, those kind of teams would work their way like that.
Wait, Nathan wanted to say something.
yeah, and don't sleep on Aston Martin. You guys, they still have Fernando Alonso, and I know you guys think, okay, he's an old man, he's not gonna last long, but look at what he did this week.
Actually,
Look at
no.
what he
Yeah.
did in the race.
Nathan,
Like,
you
yeah,
need to
we need to
understand that
definitely talk
as
about
much
that.
as he's an old man, me, Arjun, and Vish actually do love him. Actually, we love him a lot.
We
And
do, we really do.
as much as his car is not as good as Red Bull, I just want to let you know that
As a
that
driver,
day when he was fighting for P2 with the Mexican man, he defended and he got dominance. So it was
That was good.
wonderful to
That
see this.
last couple of laps blew my mind.
Like he kept patience. He knew like Checo's gonna make a mistake. It's Checo. He's gonna do some blunder. He saw one mistake he made. He made sure, and then he dominated that. That was absolutely flabbergasting.
Honestly, and the fact that it was not just any old position, it was the last place on the podium just made it even more interesting. The gap, again, the gap between the both of them. How much was it? 0.4
0.
seconds or something? 0.4, 0.5
No,
seconds?
no, 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 0.053. So
Yeah.
as Fernando
So,
Alonso's rear wheel touched the line, the same time Sergio's front tires touched.
yeah, that
So
was
yeah,
so close. It was beautiful.
it was intense. But I feel it is one of those races where a non Red Bull car gave a intense, serious fight to a Red Bull car.
Yeah,
Especially when Red Bull is in its absolute fastest form. That's with the DRS Open.
I have
yeah.
a question for Nathan. Nathan, who do you think is going to be the next biggest competitor for, and I'm going to be very specific here, for Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, and Max Verstappen?
I like Lando there.
And you mean a driver, as
Yeah,
in obviously.
Of
no, a
course.
driver.
What
Based
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
said
skills,
here.
based on the personality.
I mean, with Verstappen in Red Bull and Norris in McLaren, I'm pretty sure I don't I would never see those guys leave those teams until unless Norris has a fallout with McLaren and something happens. But let's hope it doesn't come out to that point, because you never know. Piastri seems like someone who could do something,
Yep.
and I mean, yeah, it is his first season, but he has shown some signs of really, being that world class driver. But then I gotta back myself and talk about Charles Leclerc. I can't stop talking about him.
But if they
I'll
keep messing
admit,
up the strategy.
yeah. I mean, Ferrari have just been dropping the ball, and with this guy, I mean, he himself said it once the car spun and it hit the wall. He said, why does this
Always
happen to
happened
me?
to me. That was
Yeah,
so sad to listen to. Honestly, the race had just started. Not even actually started. It was just a formation lap. And I just see him turn and spin and hit. It was heartbreaking to watch. I was sitting in a bus on my way somewhere, and I'm sitting and I'm screaming because of how annoyed I was. Everybody's a Ferrari fan, no matter what team you are in. Everybody's a Ferrari fan, and to see Leclerc have such
Nathan,
a
you
horrible
didn't
year.
answer the question.
yeah. But see, so here's one more thing. We saw these last three races. Who took pole in these last three races? Leclerc took pole 2 out of 3 times. In one lap, he is still one of the fastest drivers on the grid, and he
Mm-hmm.
might not have the car to back it, but he
Mm-hmm.
still delivers in one lap. Now, do I mean to say he is the fastest one out there? Well, no, definitely not. Verstappen has proven over time that he has basically been, dominant in that fight. But if Charles Leclerc had a car and had a team behind him, I really think he can challenge Max Verstappen. And I think the evidence for that was last season, the 2022 season when it started. Well, I admit Max had a few DNFs at the start of the season, but Charles really put his foot down. And, when he starts winning races and when he starts, putting in those laps with a good car, I really think he can challenge Max and Norris for that matter. But again, it depends on the team that he's in, because with Ferrari, it's going to be a long long ride, a long journey for him.
And I assume you do not. I assume you dislike Hamilton.
I do not dislike Hamilton. No.
Okay. But
Yeah.
if you had 3 words to describe Hamilton this season, how would you describe it? Just 3 words.
3 words?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's tough.
It goes to the same for you as well. Since you're a McLaren fan and I'm going to be very biased because obviously, like, me and Arjun are, like, we are Mercedes silverheads. So we would
You are
obviously,
a Lewis Hamilton stan, and we all stand for that.
yeah, but I just want to, but like, what are the 3 words that you would describe Hamilton this season?
Honestly, unlucky.
Okay, that's one.
But
I feel like
unlucky for a go-getter, honestly.
Okay.
he fights for stuff. I mean, I can't really think of three words. It's really hard to think of three separate words, but look, he's world class. And this season, with the car that he has had, well, I admit, in the first few parts of the season, Mercedes have had a good car, but then, to fight for that P2 in the drivers' championship with the car that he has, and with the car that Toto describes as, not a championship winning car, to put it up there in P2 with the results, I think it's pretty amazing, and it kind of proves that he's still got it. And again, if he has a good car, um, he's an 8-time, 9-time world champion. Honestly, he's still got it. He's still got the hunger to win.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
and
could see
doesn't.
it the last couple of races. Like, I mean, not just like the last race, but Austin. You could clearly see that he wanted to dominate. He did dominate. He was wonderful at what he did,
Hmm,
and that showed.
yeah.
If I had to describe Lewis in 3 words, I think I would say, other than we still rise, but I don't want to say that. That would be super weird. I want to say he cribbing, not confident, and I think he's frustrated. I think these are 3 words I would say, because as much as he is very positive towards, um, he's really positive towards everything. Like, I think his motive of improving is, we don't lose, we learn.
Yeah.
And I think I really appreciate how he thinks, but there's only much he could do. Like, it's engineering, and it's very easy. Again, I keep saying this, it's very easy for us to judge people because we're sitting here comfortably and they're doing all the hard work and we're criticizing them. And it makes me feel bad for him and Mercedes, because we all have seen how Mercedes are, and seeing them in this position, it's very devastating. And I think me and Arjun both, me and Arjun keep having these talks where, like, you know what, we don't want to support Mercedes anymore. We're done. Let's just support like McLaren. Let's support an
Go for
AMG
it.
engine. I've
We
never
were we
supported.
Come
were
over.
saying that
Never
in the
supported
earlier seasons
papaya.
when Aston Martin was performing well, we were like, okay, we're gonna get Aston Martin t-shirts now.
I mean, I did just to get Vish
That is
jealous that
McLaren.
I
That
have
is McLaren, not
seen.
Aston Martin.
He has a McLaren T-shirt. I want it so bad. Like I told you last week, I want it bad.
Okay, well
Well,
then earn
that's
and
your
get it.
problem now.
I will.
That's your
I
problem
will
now.
come. Mihir, Diwali's coming up. We need to give each other gifts. I'll get you those little Cadbury roses. You can get me the McLaren T-shirt. We work.
Mihir is just gonna be like, I don't know who you are. I'm sorry.
I will come to Exeter, please. I beg you.
If you come to Exeter, okay, yeah, fine, fair enough. If you come to Exeter,
I'm
I will give you the
reading
other.
week, man. I have 4 days to make it up. I will
Also,
come.
I just want to fill Nathan up with this. Nathan, so I got a McLaren merch shirt for
Okay.
£15 on a thrift store. Okay, now that's really cheap. Now, why would someone throw off a McLaren T-shirt?
Yeah, why
Hey.
is it in a thrift store?
£15.
Yeah.
Because McLaren is absolute. I'm joking. They're not.
I will come there and I will screw you over if you say anything.
Damn, that's a bit weird, don't you think?
Excuse my language.
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel offended.
After the things
why
you
do you
used to
guys
say,
end up having
please.
language of this sort every time you people end up in an argument?
This is an explicit one, Arjun, whether you want it or not. This is
Yeah.
it. This stays.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
back
who
to the
cares,
conversation. All right, back to the conversation.
We need to talk about the DNFs.
Ooh, there were a lot of DNFs this race.
A lot.
A lot.
I just
Oscar,
the first-
Paul Oscar, man.
the entire situation where like the tire managed to hit Daniel Ricciardo's rear wing. Oscar is told to retire. Like, what was that? What do you call the contact or the reasoning? I still don't understand, because I know that say okay, the horses kind of got sandwiched and then you have Alex Albon to the side, and then you have Pierre Gasly going in between and just managing to get himself
We
off.
wait.
You wait.
This is
No,
fun.
no, like
I think he
Pierre
meant to say
Gasly
the
actually
Williams
was
got
driving like
sandwiched
Gasly. He was like,
by the
Yeah.
two
Mario Kart.
Haases, right?
Possibly, yeah.
I'll tell you what I started obviously after the race. I was trying to get to understand what went there in the first few seconds of the first lap. Obviously, it was first lap, first corner is always very crucial because you don't only get a really good position for the next few laps, but you also dominate a certain level of just a gain position. Like that could really give you a really good chance of winning this race. So obviously we got sandwiched. Luckily, Daniel Ricciardo was saved. That tire. Also, I just want to put this. I just want to say a few things that Nathan, the tire, the single tire actually went further than a Ferrari car. How do you feel?
Yeah, I saw that coming. I saw that coming.
Ouch, man.
I saw that
Ouch.
coming, man.
I feel so bad. I saw a comment like that and I was like, damn, I need to tell Nathan this. Nathan's gonna lose it by the second.
That's
Man,
mean.
I'm just dead inside. It doesn't. Yeah, sure.
But I
Nathan
think
is
it
all
was
ready to now run
his
away from
fault.
here.
Right? I think it was a hydraulic issue. It wasn't his fault.
It definitely wasn't his fault. As far as what I heard from his interviews or from the interviews that he's had, he's just said it was a hydraulics issue in the car, and
Yeah.
it just, I mean, when he kind of spun, there was like a puff of smoke from the back of the car, so I don't really think he just spun out of
And
control.
Yeah,
I
Carlos
he
think
said
that
at
was
the
the
end
plan.
there was something with the hydraulics.
Yeah, and Carlos had the same issue last race as well. So clearly they haven't really focused on fixing both the cars, or there's something else going on. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the reliability of that car. It's always, it's always messed up with the Ferraris. They've always had issues. I just wonder how they're going to fix that for next season, because I think that's what every team should be looking forward to. Just, getting their 2024 car ready. And I feel like Ferrari have a lot of work to do.
They've already started. I
and
mean,
so-
Carlos was
and s-
clearly annoyed.
Yeah, and so do Mercedes, by the way, according to
Yeah.
Toto Wolff.
actually, I have some bad news. Mercedes is losing their head designer.
Oh, yeah.
He's leaving the post, so Mercedes is gonna have a. Well, I'm pretty sure they have someone as backup, but he did make this season's car, and it's a blunder.
This season
So
and last
hopefully
season,
they'll get back to W.
both seasons.
Sorry.
He made this
With
season
Arjun?
and last season's car. And
Okay,
then
fair enough. It makes sense. Maybe he's working. for it.
and then in between they brought in the guy who designed the W11. So
Huh.
next year, I think next year a lot of cars are going to raise eyebrows because teams started really like, okay, one thing is there where Red Bull actually started poaching all those best engineers out of all the other teams. At the same time, Aston Martin and McLaren did the same on Red Bull, getting some of their kind of master brains onto their teams. And like, yeah, one of the reasons why
Yeah.
McLaren is now improving, because like, yeah, Red Bull blood is now got involved.
Of course.
Mm.
But
Yes,
let's not
you
give
know,
it
I
all to
feel
Red
like
Bull, please.
I feel
Because
like McLaren is doing more
my
double
boys are doing
standards
well.
now. McLaren is just doing too much double standards now. They're like, oh, we take Mercedes powered engines, we take Red Bull design minds.
2026, man. 2026.
Hey, I actually gotta
year
ask you.
is-
I gotta ask Arjun and Mihir this. How do you guys feel like when your customer teams are finishing ahead of you guys? No. Because honestly, because there was a point of time in 2020 when the Ferraris were really, really bad, and when a Haas or an Alfa Romeo finished in front of them, man, the guys of Ferrari, they got cooked. How do you guys still survive? How do you guys
love
still
this.
manage to like stay okay, and Toto just comes out and says, "Ah, it's not a championship winning car."
This
How
is
does
like
that
a
work?
dig, but not a dig. I like it.
No, it's
Well done.
honestly it. No, I didn't mean to make it a dig. It's really an honest. I just want an honest opinion, because if that happened to Ferrari and like our customers finished ahead of us, that would just mean like what we're doing is a joke. We are the guys who are manufacturing the engines for you. We are the ones that make the car. We're supposed to be faster, and that's how it has been. So, um, how do you guys go through that, and how do you guys feel?
I know where Mihir stands.
Here, take it over. Take it over.
Well, I'll be okay. So I'll be very professional while answering this. No joke. As if I were to put my shoe in a Mercedes team, and I see their if our customers are doing better, I would not complain. I would try to learn what they're doing, and I think that's what Toto Wolff is. He's accepting the fact that their customer teams are doing better, and there's nothing that we can do. But the contract that they've signed does say that if another team is doing well, they'll have to share some type of information.
There is, yeah.
Really?
There is some intellectual information sharing is there.
Yeah.
I feel like reading the contract now.
Once you see a Mercedes engine actually doing well, it's a very good way of understanding why they're doing well, because they have some clause. And it is disappointing, and it is absolutely rubbish to see a McLaren go up quicker than a Mercedes.
Yeah.
But the fact is, they have really found something that Mercedes haven't, and I have nothing else to say other than once you know you're losing, the fact that he's not delusional about no we'll do better. He accepts the fact that yes, we are slow and we're fixing it, and there's nothing we can do right now about it. So we'll focus on next year's car now. And I think that's the right approach, because there's no point. Like there's literally no point thinking about this season now, because it's done. You always have to start about next season. Arjun, please take over, because I will start crying.
That's what I know.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry for bringing that up.
No, it's okay. At least the tire, the tire was not as. No, man, I don't want to bring it down.
Right. Oh, right.
Well, here's
I
the
love this episode so much.
with normally how say, for example, if this is, say, before cost cap era and all those, if Mercedes ends up coming with a car this shitty, the next thing what Toto Wolff would be doing is calling the factory and being like, I need a new car, better, improved. I don't care how much money does that cost. And he will bring a brand new car.
Yeah.
Okay. But at this stage, like, yeah, a lot of constraints have come in because of all the budget caps. And like, yeah, at least good that this time no teams have broken that budget cap. But yeah, again, you have that kind of a constraint where you at the best cannot bring that much visible changes to your car unless and until you launch, like how McLaren did, like a shitty car, and then you end up bringing up 25, managing to increase your pace by 25.25 seconds is insane. So like
I will admit the shitty car part.
it is painful. I said it launched as a shitty car. Now it's a lot better. But
I know.
again,
I take it as a compliment still.
as Mihir said, there is a set amount of information which these guys can share, because it's more like in thing. It's more of a knowledge sharing thing once a customer buys the engine, you know. So, say for example, if it's Aston Martin, the engine, the suspension, all these are supplied by Mercedes. And like, yeah, until 2025, it's going to be a Mercedes powered car. But then from 2026, it's going to be a Honda powered car. So again, there is there is that difference that comes in. So always there'll be like, if Honda, for example, one day wants to bring a team, and if already Honda is supplying engines to Aston Martin in 2026, say in 2030 Honda wants to bring a team, then by right, Aston Martin has to share some information.
Mm.
It's like a it's more of like I would say it's in the agreement. So yeah, again, this is I'm not
Mm.
gonna one see it's at least last year with that W13, which they called it the worst car possible. At least they managed to win one race, a 1-2. And with this car, with the W14, I'll not say it's bad, but it is still not good enough for Mercedes standards. Because
Yeah.
I feel like these guys have set the bar way too
I'm
high.
so sorry, Arjun. You're saying that the W14 car, dude. I'm telling you this right now, and you can take this in a positive way or not. That's up to you.
Fun.
But I think W14 is, I think a Tata Nano could be a quicker car than W14. I think
Bomb drop,
if
the
you
mic
put,
drop.
I think, no, wait, no, I'm really frustrated because I've seen Mercedes at its pinnacle. I've seen what kind of engineering they're doing. They have history, they have heritage, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because
So why don't you?
power
It's
to
not. I mean, it's again. It's easy for me to just sit down and comment all of this. But I know Mercedes potential. I know what they're hungry for.
okay. Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
just
man.
frustrated. Like this is, you have the facility, you have talent, you have a world class driver, you have young blood, Mr. Russell, come in
Yeah.
as well. And for the first time, I actually don't see any rivalry between the drivers. They just want to win points.
And yeah, like that one is something we need to pick up. Russell ended up being a team player this time. Normally, Russell is like, oh, let's do this. Like he just minds his own business.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, I mean, Mercedes pulled a little bit of Ferrari, right? Didn't they? Like in their strategy when Russell was complaining on the radio, Mercedes used the Ferrari card by saying, "We're discussing," or "We'll check and we'll let you know," or "We are looking into it." They're turning. I mean, hey, I'm here and Arjun. I mean, like, give this like maybe 5, 6 years, and you've joined the Ferrari club. Welcome to my,
My
welcome to
word.
how I
life.
feel. Welcome to my world. Yeah.
It's a good day to be a McLaren fan.
Man, you and your papaya, you should go slice it
Uh-uh.
and
You know
eat
what?
it.
See,
See, I'll
I
tell
will eat it all up. I will soak it all up as long as my boy's on top.
You need to understand that too
I'll
much
tell
of
you
papaya can
this.
give you diarrhea. Do you want diarrhea? Do you want diarrhea?
I quite like papaya.
Yeah, well, and as well, you like diarrhea as well, I guess, in the same time.
Arjun, permission to curse, please?
What do you mean permission to curse? You are a woman. You can do whatever you want. Talking about
Okay,
that,
thank you. Screw you.
McLaren actually is doing a really good thing by not hiring, but having a female driver under development. I think that's a
Bianca,
really, I think that's a really good
move. Yes, it is.
start for a
We
female.
need
She's the
Bianca
first
here.
female Formula One driver. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I like the direction McLaren's going with selecting
Also,
young drivers, number
just to let
one.
you know, that her biggest fan, I mean, the one she's the idol, is Lewis Hamilton.
I know. I know.
So just to let you know that she's not a McLaren fan, she just got an opportunity.
But
So
she's part of the McLaren family. You
because there was no
lost
other
out.
team
We gained.
accepting her at this point.
We gained a wonderful driver, and that's all I will say. Bianca Bustamante is on top, and she will forever remain on top.
Okay, so okay, if you had to choose between Landon Norris and her, who would you choose?
Lando Norris.
Oh, what? Wow.
Without a doubt, man, please. He introduced me to Formula One. He's the reason I love this
Just
sport.
out there, do you
Okay.
see what I mean by double standards with Vishruti? There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I cannot not use this word enough. Mean. Really mean. When
Okay,
I
wait,
stick to
Nathan,
something, I stick to
wait.
something. Landon Norris, I have stuck to for the last 2 years, and I will stick.
Nathan, I have a question for you. Actually, all three of you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so Nathan, if you had one driver to meet and you had 30 seconds to have a conversation with them or comment something, who would it be and what would you say?
Ooh.
Dead or alive? Dead or alive? Anyone? Retired? Doesn't have to be the season as well. It could be anyone.
I got mine.
Okay, but then I'm asking Nathan.
You said everybody. My God,
Yeah, but
man.
I'm starting with Nathan. Papaya, relax, okay? Just because Lando Norris is winning doesn't mean you have the right to go over.
That's my new name now, huh, Papaya?
Ooh, I think this is tough. This is tough because you mentioned dead or alive. I mean, okay. I
What if
I, I
in the
don't
middle?
wanna. Yeah. Oh,
Who?
what do you mean by
I know
we
where you're
should?
going. Tell me where you're going, man. Don't go there, please. He's alive. Please don't do this to me.
Yes, he's alive. He's alive. Oh my god, that's the only thing I'm banking on. I would talk
Yeah.
to. I would talk to Michael.
Yeah,
I would
me
talk to
too.
Michael. Cause I'll be honest, what you're feeling right now, Mihir, with with a seven-time world champion in your car, and how he feels like. I just wanted to understand his mindset of how he faced Fernando in 2005 and 2006, and what was his way of like tackling that situation. And that really, I mean, his first retirement kind of came out of the blue all of a sudden. He decides to hold a press conference and tells everyone in F1 that he's going to retire. And it really was a shock to everyone. After like an amazing career he's had at Ferrari, winning like 5 consecutive drivers' championships, and then fighting Fernando. I really would want to talk and understand his mentality of at that time, at that point of time, driving that car against a young driver. How did it feel? And yeah, that's what I would do, and that's who I would talk to.
All right, that's actually that was really really good. Arjun, what about you?
I have a whole list if you say. Like, I can't stop on one. Like, I would want to talk to Lewis Hamilton. I want to talk to Kimi Raikkonen. I want to talk to Sebastian Vettel,
Oh, better.
and Daniel Ricciardo. Like, it's like a list that goes on. I want to talk to Alan Prost. Like, I want to talk to these people. Like, it's more of like, because see, I would say why Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton, I did have a chance to meet during Expo 2020. Like, but then I couldn't. It was not in a position where I could ask questions. But I managed to meet him. And I believe Mihir, you were there in the same event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, again, the story was really inspiring, really amazing. But for me, Lewis Hamilton, my only big question is like, what motivates him to be the change in that sport? Because Lewis Hamilton managed to change a lot and bring a lot of impact to Formula One as a sport. So yeah, that's to Lewis Hamilton. To Kimi Raikkonen, I would really want to ask long ass questions and get one word answers.
That'd be fun.
And I want to really ask, like, you, for example, retire your car. Instead of you going to your team, you go to your yacht, sip your, what do you call, champagne or mimosas. Like, how could you do that? Like, what's that mentality? I want to know. That's one.
Live
But
your life, man. That's it. No
that is
matter
no,
what
like,
happens.
how? I want to know that. With Seb Wattel, again, from being the most hated to being the most loved. I want to know how that kind of, at first, when he was dominating like Max Verstappen right now, he was breaking records and stuff. Like, from there to now, how was that change in terms of what he was in that race winning RB8, RB9 versus right now, where he's retired? But then he didn't say that. He gave hints he will come back to racing, but you don't know. Again, we have a German team coming. So if by patterns go right, when the German team came, Michael Schumacher came back. Now, when a German team comes back, Sebastian Vettel might come back. Who knows? That's pretty much what will be in my mind to kind of ask.
Mm-hmm. Vish, what about you?
So two people in
No,
my head.
one.
I thought
One.
one. But then Nathan took that, so I will change.
No,
I had another one in
you
mind.
don't have to change
Put
it like that.
someone.
It's the same
No,
basis
but
of
I do.
person to
I
person.
got another name in my mind, anyways.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
So, being a McLaren fan, I would choose Senna, and I would choose Bruce McLaren. Actually,
Okay.
I will see how he went about Bruce McLaren. I would have asked him probably how he went about actually starting the whole thing. I mean, no one knows a founder like Bruce McLaren. Like he's still going on. His legacy is still going on in McLaren, and it's been on for so long that I would want to see what started or what made him start it, and how he feels like right now. If I were to talk about the current McLaren team, I would probably, if he were to know about the current McLaren team, I'd probably ask him how he feels that the team that he founded, how does he feel how it's doing and stuff like that. It's just uh, this basic founding father question you would ask someone. I'd ask him. Senna, dominating car. I would probably talk about his time dominating and winning, because that's a good place. That's a Senna died doing what he loved,
Mhm.
and I want to just ask him how he feels about his racing career and how at peace he was with it. I don't know. I'm getting all messing with it, but
No,
yeah,
one
it's
thing
just
to add though, Bruce McLaren probably, what happened was his marketing team might have not been on the job to kind of get him all the brand awareness. So probably
yeah.
because of that, it's all thanks to his marketing team. But yeah, like when you have like good
Exactly. I mean,
marketers,
it's his
for
name that's
example,
still racing
like,
on.
when you have like good marketers, like for example, Mihir, you'll have everything addressed, right?
Absolutely. I got the mover. I think for me, and you'll be very shocked, you guys, actually, with my answer. I would. I have three names, but if I had to pick one, I would choose Mick Schumacher.
Mick.
Yeah. Mick Schumacher.
Yeah, I think his father was a legacy. He still is. People dream to be a Schumacher, and it's something for our listeners. I don't know if you know this, but so Amitabh Bachchan is a world class actor, right? He is the
I see where this is
king
going.
of Bollywood, right?
Yeah.
And then there's his son, which is Abhishek Bachchan. Abhishek Bachchan is not, he can never be as good as his father, but since he is the father, people expect him to be that good. And I think that really pushes the son to be in a position where he knows that his father was truly uh not just a history of like, he wasn't a history of Formula One. He was more than, he was a god to some people, and he can never be like, I'm pretty sure he can, and he has the potential and he has the right talent, but I just feel bad for him. Like, if I had to just go, I just want to sit down, have a coffee with him, and just tell him that it's okay to be who you are. Like, you don't have to be someone else or be like your father. Just, your limitations, your strengths and weaknesses, and you should play on that. And you're very lucky that you have so much of financial and your family supporting you on this, because there are a lot of drivers who have the money but don't have the talent. But I
Yeah.
think Mick Schumacher has both, and Mercedes wouldn't keep him as a trainee in wouldn't keep them in like training. So he's definitely getting a Lewis Hamilton experience and a young blood George Russell experience as well. That's who I would love to and tell him.
Interesting. I actually like that the most. Out of everyone's, including mine, I like that the most. No one. It's not someone you would expect, but at the same time, it's someone who would really know and feel a lot, having Michael Schumacher as a father.
I would I would I would feel, I wouldn't feel devastated, but the amount of pressure like I would have knowing that my father was truly a legendary driver. Like, I would be like, damn, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any words.
Michael was Michael.
Yeah, he was
Is
I
Michael.
feel I feel this is the
he's
best
Michael.
conversation we have ever had on this podcast.
It is. It's nice. I like it. We should do this often, guys. Get deep in.
No,
because it's
Mm.
like
it's just
at least the good thing is that at least it's like not just two teams, it's a third team is also there. So it's like it's all I feel it's always good when we have like people from three teams there, just so that like you get three different angles and three different perspectives to everything what we talk.
I'm really missing Red Bull, man. I wish we put our egos aside and actually call one in.
the thing is, we don't mind calling a Red Bull fan, but I've had few of my friends here in Exeter who are Red Bull fans, and they don't
Yeah.
shut up about how much they hate
Yeah,
Hamilton.
no. I have a friend here too. He just goes on and on and on
So
and
it
on
becomes
and
very,
on.
as much as like a few people actually know what engineering is and how Formula One works, but for others, it's like, who cares? The car's fast. Oh yeah, like there's more to it, brother. Like there's so much more to Formula One than just fast cars. But if you had the brain cells, I would explain it to you. But you're a fool.
Whoa.
But you know, it's like
Just
certain Red Bull fans themselves, they're like, oh man, we don't want Red Bull to win anymore. We're just so done seeing Red Bull winning. Like they're like, okay, it's good to see Max winning and
Join
stuff,
us.
understandable. But then uh, after a point, it's they're just like, okay, we need to stop seeing this guy.
Oh
Yeah.
man, they clearly
F1.
haven't watched. They clearly haven't watched F1 from 2014 to 2018, 2020. Oh my god, I'm being. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Anyways,
But if they had to go through that, they would say the same thing about Mercedes.
Mm,
That's
fair enough.
domination. It
Fair
exists in
enough.
the sport. It exists in the sport, and they just have to live with it. There was an era where Ferrari were the best car. There was an era where Mercedes were the best car. There is an era where the Red Bull
yeah.
is on top. It's part of the sport. You cannot take it away. I mean, that's how. I
Mhm.
mean, that's all part of Formula One. It's the best team, the best driver that wins it
Exactly.
all.
There's always going to
Yeah,
be
I know,
one
and
team
right?
that
But you
dominates
know,
and
it's
one
just like
driver that
this
dominates.
particular season, the only problem is since we have 23 races, that's why a lot of points to grab. That's why, because say when Lewis Hamilton was dominating, when it's you didn't feel that what you call monotony because you didn't have that much amount of races.
Yeah.
Next year we're going to 24 races, okay, and it's like again that means if you're calculating that's around 600 plus points to catch for the P1 position. So it's like just on races. Sprints is a separate thing. Uh, but I want to ask
Interesting.
before we kind of wrap up for today, what do you guys think about the sprint format? Do you think it needs to be changed, or do you think sprint needs to be completely taken out of the Formula One system?
See, I'm okay with the sprint format, okay, to an extent. But the farm format thing isn't working for me. They need they need to work on the car. If there's an issue like Leclerc with the hydraulics this time, they need to work on the car.
Nathan, your thoughts?
this is a really good topic. The sprint format, it started off basically in the feeder series, right? So you see it in F2 and in F3. So what happens there is you would have your qualifying for the sprint race,
Mhm.
and the sprint race takes it basically takes place where the top 8 drivers are flipped. So the person who starts 8th starts first, 7th second, and so on. And I'm not saying that F1 should do that. I'm not saying that F1 should do that. But if they had some way where they can reward maybe the top 15 drivers, but they flip the 15 drivers or
Mhm.
something like that, and make it more interesting that way, because in that way, it kind of works. I mean, I know there are a lot of teams that would disagree, and I'm pretty sure Mercedes is one of them. They've come out and they've said that the sprint format, the sprint weekends, whenever you guys have been racing, it has not been going well, and I get that. But then at the same time, it kind of gives teams who are lower down in the grid the opportunity to start up front and to show that they can lead a race. Because think about it, this season has been very close, or at least at the end of the season the pack is very close. So you see an Alex Albon up there or a Nico Hulkenberg up there, he can hold his own for a few laps. And you should think about it. I mean, the fastest guy, Max Verstappen, he's not going to be sitting there in P15, you know, going around 12 laps just stuck behind a car. No, he's gonna want to finish first. And that's what people want to see at the same time. They want to see racing. They want to see action. So I think it works, and I think the drivers would love that too. They would want to, fight and win, positions for
Hmm.
that race. So I think if that sprint format was just tweaked in that way, where most of the drivers are rewarded and there is a lot of action, I think that would work. But then again, the FIA will have to work with that. The Formula One group would have to work with that, and I really don't think that's going to happen. But I really think that
Yes,
would be
boss.
entertaining for both the drivers and fans.
Yeah. Mihir, your thoughts?
I'm gonna be straightforward and give a short answer. I do not like this race, like sprint races. I think they should really stick to the original format of um, how it should be: practice, practice, race.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is because, and I'm gonna say this once, Formula One is not a motorsport anymore. It's a money making machine where they only want more money. And the only reason why they started off with this whole sprint race was to get people to come watch the races, get more entertained. Yes, it's a great sport to watch. I could watch it every single day and not get bored of it. But you need to understand that these teams, they're not just doing it for us, they're doing this for themselves. And you need to give them time to prepare, to to you know to give us a show. But if you keep wasting time in these small laps, again, it's a great way to get points. It's a great way to understand what the
Yeah.
characteristics of the car is going to be the following day on the race day. But there's always you can do more to make your car better. That's so. My conclusion is I do not like sprint race.
Well, something which, like, when for me, what I think is that sprint races are good, but I would want to rather not see a trailer of what I'm going to see on the main day of the race. Because, it's like when you see sprint, when you see who wins, you're kind of able to predict who does what. You
Yeah.
don't have that unpredictability factor over here. Because in this one, I didn't know Sergio Perez is going to do a massive thing with what do you call it, with Carlos? Sorry, not with Carlos. Sorry, with Fernando Alonso. Um,
Um,
s- so, like, idly those are like surprise elements which I want when I watch a race. And like, but definitely park for me is something which um I if a sprint week also, the rules have to be modified, at least say what in my understanding, or in my concept, what I want as a perfect Formula One week is: you do a free practice one, you do
yeah.
sprint quali, okay, on the same evening. You do your
Hmm.
shootout. Sorry, yeah. This is the sprint race on the morning. Okay. Again, you want to do 100 laps, do 100 kilometers of racing, 100 kilometers of racing. But that points should not be added with the World Championship points. That needs to be either kept separate as its own. Okay.
Yeah.
And with that sprint race, ideally it needs to have a reverse grid. Because ideally, if say for example if Logan Sargent managed to finish P20, he should get P1. Because I feel every driver
Hmm.
has the chance to stand in front of the race line and race. And I understand, like,
Yeah.
it's always got on merit, but then I'm not saying that I'm not saying like, okay, it'll it's kind of morally not it's morally wrong. I'm not saying that, but I just feel that for the drivers, at least they'll be motivated. At least there is a bit of challenge, because for Max Verstappen, as I see, you put him in the front, he's going to dominate. He's going to dominate. he's just going to drive his car in clean air and then win the bloody race.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the winners of the order of the winner of the sprint the order in which they started during the race last year? Am I right or am I wrong?
no, you're wrong. Because for that one
What
there
was
is
I saying?
qualifying. There's a race qualifying for a reason.
I need to go back and check it now because I'm confused.
Yeah, in F2 they used to work it out like you have a qualifying and then you have a sprint race which basically takes the top 8 and then flips them. But then the feature race, which is the main race, is based on the qualifying results
Yeah, that's the thing.
and not the sprint
I
race.
need to get
I
back
would
to you
rather
guys
want to
on that.
have
I
that qualifying grid
distinctly
set
remember.
on the day of the feature race than on the sprint, because sprint tends to end up being so boring. Like
Yeah, I
um,
agree. And
I,
I also
I definitely
yeah, and
I just feel, and at least they need to again reconsider the tracks these guys choose. It should not be say places, say for example like give me an example of a sprint track. Like for example, this one, Circuit of the Americas. It's an amazing track
Mm-hmm.
for a sprint race because highly technical. You have like like four corners which are inspired by four incredible tracks. You've got Silverstone, Hockenheim, Istanbul, and Suzuka. You've got all these things added in. Like Kota is a really good circuit for sprint. Whereas you tell me this one, Red Bull Ring in Austria. No,
Austria.
I would not want that over there. I would not want that in Austria. I would not want that in Qatar. Just no, because one thing, too much track limits, way too much track limits,
Yeah.
and like yeah, I just really felt really bored seeing all those sprint races. But yeah,
Yeah.
anyways, that's pretty much it from our end. I know we've been going for quite a long time. Thank you so much for tuning on to another episode of Formula Pod. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, until next time, and until we meet right before Las Vegas Grand Prix episode, it's goodbye and good night from all of us here from Dubai and London, of the entire crew of Formula Pod. Goodbye.